Hi there, I'm Dr. Deb Lees. I wanted to talk to you today very briefly about the Dragon Slayers Club, but today more as an introduction about myself and where I come from. So I'm Dr. Deb Lees. I'm originally South African by birth and lived in South Africa till my mid-20s, and during my time after school I studied chiropractic and became very involved in the chiropractic field. Unfortunately, due to home circumstances, I always wanted to do medicine, but my parents couldn't afford to fund that journey for me. And because I was working and paying my way, I was unable to relocate my job down to a place where the universities were located, where I'd be able to continue to work and fund those studies. So I was then in a position where I chose to stick with chiropractic and ended up working overseas for a short period of time. And it was during that period of time that I then had the opportunity to travel to Finland with the British athletics team. And part of that team, I got chatting with the medical doctor on the team, who was a fantastic man. And I'm not going to name drop, but still to this day remains one of my great mentors in terms of the life-changing decisions that I made round about that time. And he encouraged me to put my application in for medicine, which I did, and then to my surprise ended up going through all the application process and ended up with a place in medicine. And then going through that journey and then realizing orthopedics was my love, and then finally achieving a role in the orthopedics training program, going through that higher training program, getting all my exams, and successful with my fellowship. So that ended up being in the UK, and then finishing my fellowship down in Australia, where I'm currently based, and focusing primarily on orthopedic spine, doing both trauma, adult degenerative spine, and pediatric deformity, which is an incredible speciality to be part of. So in terms of qualification, I'd like to think that I've taken an unorthodox approach, that I've really had a lot of challenges thrown at me. My mum was very ill through a lot of my childhood. She had various physical problems as well as mental health issues. My younger brother had severe cerebral palsy, was wheelchair bound, was unable to do anything for himself, required a lot of home nursing, and my parents didn't have any support either from family, because we were in South Africa alone and isolated from family, and also because of all the health issues, my parents were very much financially not in a good position. So anything I did was really self-funded from my point of view. And I very distinctly remember a lot of my childhood being focused on my mom's health, on my brother's health, how to navigate certain mental health issues from my mom's point of view. She had a lot of paranoia. There was schizophrenia in there. My brother had physical health challenges, lifting him on and off the toilet, making sure he was comfortable, dealing with pressure areas, and then trying to balance all of that with my studies as well. So at the end of the day, to have achieved my medical degree and my medical speciality is something I'm incredibly proud of. But it really irks me when the general public, and certainly some of the people I meet, seem to be under the impression that I've come from a privileged background because I am a doctor. And out of many of the doctors I've met, that is not the case. So yes, there are some who have had a very fortunate upbringing and their parents were able to fund their studies and help them along that journey. But there's many I've met who have also followed a very unorthodox path and find themselves doing the job that they do because of some of those experiences during their childhood and their formative years that have really shaped a lot of their philosophies and given that caring side of their nature. And it's these stories that I'm really interested in hearing, and that I think the general public would be very interested to hear as well. And the whole reason for this is that these are the stories that will highlight to both the general public but also to those up-and-coming generations that you don't have to come from a privileged background to be successful, that you can achieve lots of very successful careers, medicine and surgery being one of them, but hopefully this bridges the gap across many careers, and that you can be successful. And being a woman is not a discriminatory feature. You should not be held back. You should not be given any less of an opportunity because you are a woman. And this is something I really want to encourage and mentor the junior generations coming through, that it is possible. So people may make a life choice that this isn't for them because of their circumstances, but I would really like to talk to those who feel that it is, but feel that circumstances are beyond their control, or because of their background that it's not possible. And I would really like to hold that beacon of light and be that encouragement. And I would love you to join me on that journey and be part of that encouraging field, part of that educating field, and part of the group of women who say, we are here, we are doctors, we are surgeons, we have been successful despite our surroundings. And that there's hope for people coming after us as well, and that it's possible. And by us having done it, we can extend a hand, we can extend that support and provide that mentorship to people who need it on their way up. So I would love for you to join me, share your story, come along and be part of this. Join our group, and hopefully we can create a strong group of powerful women. We'll see you soon.